This is Brad Bailey. I'm standing here at LA Live for the 15th anniversary of the global movement Vday and its 1 Billion Rising campaign. I'm here with the iconic Jane Fonda. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So can you tell me, how did you get involved with this event?
Well, I've known Eve for about 12 years. I'm part of her board, the Vday board, which grew out of the play that she wrote called The Vagina Monologues. It's never happened that anyone has written a play that grew into a global movement. Which it has all around the world. It's raised more than $90 million for efforts to stop violence against women and girls, just about in every country of the world, and the money stays locally. And a year ago, having heard from the United Nations that 1 out of 3 women in the world are raped or brutalized in their lifetime, Eve did the math and realized that's 1 billion women. Let's call upon 1 billion people around the world to rise and dance and strike and sing to demand an end to this. And so when she first told me, I thought, there's no way, but in fact it is happening. It started early this morning in Samoa. It traveled all through Australia. The president of Australia called upon the whole government to rise. Millions of people in the Philippines are part of it. The Women's Coalition of the French Parliament, the European Parliament, the Queen Mother of Bhutan, the Dalai Lama, the United Nations, the Incas in Peru. I mean, it's really amazing the diversity of what's happening. Steelworkers, nuns, bishops. It's very broad and it's very powerful.
Well, that was going to be my next question. What do you think then is the major tool that we need to utilize to be able to combat global violence against women?
Well, just this day and what has happened around the world this day, it is huge, because people who have never been a part of this anti-violence against women coalition have endorsed this and have joined it, and are already, as we speak, writing legislation in their various governments to do different things, pass different legislations that would stop violence against women, including educating children on how to protect themselves against pedophiles, what inappropriate touching is, sex education, education that would punish perpetrators, and on and on. So there's legislation happening.
Yes.
There's more people joining the movement, women and men. We're grateful for the support from men. And we're asking everyone to take a pledge that in the next year, everybody do something as individuals to help stop violence against women.
Okay, and we're both also from Georgia, and I mean it's amazing how universal, in a sense, some of the issues are here. You know, any particular experiences that sort of stick out to you from your time back in Georgia that you'd like to share with us today?
Well, as you may know, I have 2 nonprofits in Georgia that deal with adolescents, and they're disadvantaged boys and girls, not just girls, but boys too. And I founded it 17 years ago, so that's given me a lot of experience, close up and personal, with young adolescents in Georgia. And what I found is that, again, just as the UN says, 1 out of 3 girls has been sexually abused. Every time you see a girl 15 years or younger who is pregnant or parenting, you can bet your bottom dollar that she has been a victim of abuse. It's epidemic. I'm sorry to say that a lot of abuse is incest. And one of the things that I want to say, one of the things that we can do as individuals, if a child comes to us and tells us that they are being abused or harassed sexually, we have to believe them. Too often, for all kinds of complicated reasons, people don't believe them. Believe them and go to the authorities, even if it means turning in someone who is a member of your own family. Because the damage that is done is lifelong. I mean, you can heal, but it's very, very, very difficult. I know because my mother killed herself when I was 12.
Okay.
I always thought it was my fault, but when I was writing my memoirs, I researched, got the documents from the place where she killed herself, and discovered she'd been sexually abused at the age of 8. And suddenly everything fell in place, because that's what can happen.
So you think then that's sometimes the bottom root then of some of the issues that women psychologically face with that may lead on to problems later on in life, correct?
It's terrible problems later on. A child who's been abused, it's very hard for them trust anyone, to create healthy relationships that are based on trust. Inevitably, these children feel guilty because that's how children respond to abuse. You know, Oprah calls it brainwashing. You know, just as much as a body violation, it's a brain violation. And it's difficult to recreate those ties of trust and to get rid of the feelings of guilt. It takes a lot of hard work. It's a lot better for the child if the parent or other adult believes them. It's when you don't believe the child that it becomes really worse.
And my last question, you're 75 years young, and I think quite smoking hot, I have to tell you. How do you, what's your major secret then in terms of keeping yourself vital and inspirational and just young? What's your major secret that you can share with us?
Well, I think, first of all, staying involved, caring about things, you know, having a reason to live, you know, service is the rent you pay for life, and staying curious and staying involved keeps you young, as does being healthy, working out, and eating well, and having love in your life.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much.
It was very nice to meet you.
Absolutely. Thank you.